Welcome to How's Your ePresence. This is the news update version of How's Your ePresence. And this show is produced by ePresence, and you can find us anywhere on the internet at epresence.me, or you can find any of our social media handles at ePresenceMe. Just lose the dot. ePresenceMe is our social media handle everywhere. Well, I'm here today with my colleague and partner in arms, Eric Welch. Eric, good morning. How are you? And it's not even good morning. It's good afternoon. The day's been going on now like that. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Thanks, Mark.
Outstanding. Well, thanks for jumping on the line with me. We have, there was an article that came out today that I wanted to talk about. And you guys could imagine how this would go. Eric and I are constantly out there working and looking for things that are going on in social media, as well as providing great content for our clients. And today, there was an article that popped up, and I need to make sure I cite the article. It was the Army News, I believe. Do you have that in front of you? Who authored this?
That came, the Army Times.
ArmyTimes.com had this. Now I found that. And here's the point of this article. The headline is as such, quote, Secretary McCarthy was asked whether the Army, quote, conducted an analysis of alternative recording platforms prior to its decision to leverage TikTok, end quote. So here's the gist. Long and the short of it is this. The Army is using TikTok as a recruiting tool. Now, I'm a marketer. Eric, you're a marketer. That's probably not a bad idea, right? How can we reach people to join the Army when a lot of the young people are on TikTok? Right? That makes sense, doesn't it, Eric?
Yeah, and from what I understand, the Army, they're looking to reach the younger generation, and they're going to go to platforms that genre of folks. That's where they're going.
Right. And so TikTok's a great place. TikTok, little history. This was a group there. The name of the app was originally Douyin, Douyin. It became TikTok, and it took the place of an old app called Vine. These are quick, short video clips. And if you haven't seen anything on TikTok, it is a bit mesmerizing. Young people are grabbing music and putting together lyrics with it, and they're quick, they're short, they constantly repeat, and they are very engaging, especially the better ones. So I understand why young people are here. Here's what's interesting. This is a company owned by the Chinese. It's a Chinese organization, and there are questions whether they are connected to the government. Is it a national security threat? These are questions that come up. And the comment that needs to be made here is be aware of what you're sharing online, because it could end up in the hands of the Chinese. Right, Eric?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And it's just another reminder that regardless, any platform that you're on social media, you have to be very careful about what you post, because what you put out there is out there forever. People, even if you delete a tweet or a Facebook post, who knows who has seen it while it was up? It can be screen grabbed, and that can be shared. So it's just another reminder to be careful what information you put out there, because you don't know who has access to it.
Yeah, and something, we had an article that we posted not long ago about how the Chinese are using LinkedIn to recruit spies. So that's a whole nother topic we could get into, but do know that this happens. I want to encourage folks, you have to understand that today you've got to look for nefarious people on social media. There was a proven situation in the Philippines where the government was opening hundreds of fake accounts on Facebook, acting like real people to promote support of a government initiative. And Facebook found them and they shut them down. But this means organizations and governments can use social media as a form of propaganda. So you've got to make sure that you understand who is providing the content to you. If you don't know the person, then you need to question whether that content is true. It is very easy to get sucked in by something, especially if you want to believe it or you are extremely opposed to it. It's easy to jump into something and start arguing or start supporting. We want you to be aware of a couple of things. Number one, social media is fantastic. There are some great things that you can do on social media. You can you can reach a larger audience that you can in other places. You can share good quality information about you with your friends, with family. But you also need to make sure you're not getting sucked into with someone who you don't know, and they're sharing some content that just may not be true or may not be authentic, or they may be trying to change your mind to believe them when they are a nefarious organization.
Yeah, and it reminds me of I think it's still going on, but it was a bigger deal maybe 10, 15 years ago, the emails that would come through saying that you've inherited millions of dollars from somewhere overseas, and
Eric, I still get those.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
maybe what's up with that? I still get them.
I know they still show up every now and then. It doesn't seem to be as frequent as it used to, but you share your personal information with somebody you don't know, and then they have that.
Well, and I'll tell you why you don't see as much of it. And I think most people don't see as much of those types of emails because the email filters are getting better today. The email providers understand how emails come across, whether they're attached to a real profile, what IP addresses are sending them, and the like. And they're able to filter that out so we don't see that. Now, this could be someplace that we're headed, that social media firms, and I know this is, social media firms are working to make sure that what you see are real people. And there's a whole question about censorship here. And that is a true question. And I think that would be a great comment, something that we could talk about in the future, because we're trying to keep this to 10 minutes. And that is a longer conversation about censorship on social media. Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? But it is necessary and it is wise for social media firms to ensure that there is a real person on the other side of that account that is sharing whatever that data is. This is, Eric, this goes right back to the last election with how the Russians tried to, and maybe had, and I don't know if they're, to me, it's not a question of whether they did or not. They did try to influence the election. Did they? Did they influence someone to vote one way or the other? Don't know. Is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. But what's more important is these were fake accounts, absolutely fake accounts. So they needed to be shut down.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. And going back to what you said about the email providers kind of figuring it out and filtering that better, I think that's what the social media companies are trying to do now.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's our update. We wanted to share that because we thought that was really cool information, something that you're not going to see in the mainstream. I've got a feeling that most of you are not out there reading the Army Times. So we thought we'd share this. This is something going out there, and if you're on TikTok, just be aware your content is going to the Chinese. They are. This is a Chinese company. Is it going to the government? Not so sure about that. That has not been absolutely proven, but it is something you should be aware of. Anytime you share data, make sure it is data that you're okay with sharing with the world. Any last thoughts there, Eric?
No, again, just to kind of reiterate what I said at the top was just that folks should just be careful, regardless of the platform, across the board. Be careful what you put out there, photos, posts, personal information, any of it. Just be careful.
You bet. All right, man. Well, thanks for the time. And for all of you that are listening, we do appreciate you tuning in. This has been produced by ePresence, and I am Mark Galvin. I am the founder and CEO of ePresence. Actually, I've lost the CEO title. I'm actually the president, but that's neither here nor there. You can find us once a week on any social media platform. We have longer shows that we do a couple times a month. We really dig in with a client or a customer or an expert on what's going on in the social media world. And this podcast is called How's Your ePresence? Catch us anywhere on social media using the hashtag ePresence.me. I'm Mark Galvin, and for Eric Welch, our director of social media, this is How's Your ePresence? Have a great afternoon.